Hi, my name is Fiechtner, and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we have the great pleasure and honor of speaking with Ben Fiechtner. He's the CEO of Clari. Hi, Ben.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
You won the CEO of the Year award, and you couldn't make it to Vegas, so congratulations.
Yeah, again, I'm sorry to hear that I missed so many great folks in the crowd.
Well, let's dive right in. What is your philosophy for hiring, retaining, and rewarding, and also promoting the best people?
For us, a lot of it was kind of doubling down and going on a listening tour, I guess I should say, for a bit and figuring out what was working really, really well, and then just multiplying and doubling down on that. And we found the folks that were absolutely the best talent and just replicated their behaviors and their skill sets as much as humanly possible for the new folks coming in. And then we rounded out the edges on where we saw, potential gaps from where they were and where they needed to be to deliver on the goals we had set.
Now, how do you get the team aligned behind your strategy so that you can continuously fill the pipeline?
We talk a lot about attitude, aptitude, and authenticity. That was what we were able to do, right? Is just be very, very authentic and honest with the challenges we saw in the business, the things that we needed to do to get back to significant year-over-year growth, and then just constant communication and scorecarding ourselves on, hey, these are the things we think are going well. These are still the things that we're lagging behind. And it was an open and honest conversation with all of my leaders. And also the plan was built, yes, a bit from the top down, but much more from the bottoms up, and taking a lot of the feedback from the best sellers we had just to understand what the problems of our customers were, but also the problems of our own organization and the things we had to work on first, second, and third.
You mentioned the word attitude. How would you describe that?
I think when we talk about attitude, we think a lot about, like, if you see a problem, if you complain about it, that's one thing and not the attitude we want. More importantly, we're hoping that people see those problems and say, hey, this is an opportunity for not only me to get better, but the organization to get better, which is ultimately going to result in better customer outcomes. So I think a lot of that is the attitude that we're hopefully ingraining in all of our teams. And then the second piece is just never taking ourselves too seriously. I think we get to sell things for a living. I personally get to sell things that help people sell better, which is an incredibly fun job, and just trying to have as much fun along the way as humanly possible.
Across your chest, you have run revenue. What about training?
I've always been a big believer of it's got to be kind of for us, by us, right? So if we're saying, hey, we have this disconnect and we don't necessarily understand this client's problem, or we don't understand this new technology, it has to be raised from the field. And if the field's the one that is sharing that, they should also be the one that is kind of saying, hey, this is how I solved the problem. So for us, enablement isn't, a webinar every other week where everyone half tunes in and is sitting on their LinkedIn profile or multitasking. It is usually a peer that is leading that enablement, and it's a topic that was raised by their peer. So they're much more apt to want to listen and be a part of it. I think the other big thing is, like, a lot of this is the micro moments, right? How do you embrace the clear as kind mentality, if you will, of individual session, in that one-on-one, in that forecast call? How does the frontline leader feel empowered to say, hey, I'm going to take the extra 45 minutes to walk you through that big deal construction, or take the 45 minutes to have you re-record your first call deck and make sure that you really understand the value we're providing to our clients? I think it's just empowering everybody to be able to enable each other. The same way that my best sellers, they call me often and say, hey, Ben, I got a little bit of feedback for you on that pitch to that other CRO. I could have tweaked here, here, and here. Like, that is the continuous enablement that we're hopefully driving, and trying to get much more away from, hey, you got to check the box. You have to do this trading by this date and you're going to be scored on it, to every micro moment we have. We're just laser focused on how to get better and give that clear and actionable feedback to make sure we're continuing to improve and go up into the right.
You also talk about the growth mindset a lot. How do you develop that in your followers so that they're passionate about growing revenues like you are?
I try to do it as much on my own of, hey, we get off a meeting, we have immediate feedback, and it's not just me giving feedback to the team. It's also the team saying, Ben, this is what you could have done better. That's the first and probably the biggest part of it. And the second thing is, like, when people are innate. One, demonstrating that behavior yourself. And then two, just constantly making sure they have that innate ability to be self-reflective and look at the ways they can do things better on a daily basis.
I think I learned a lot just by listening to you, and I love your infectious passion for winning, which is commendable. And congratulations again for winning the CEO of the Year award. And I hope you win again next year.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the nomination and for the recognition. All the effort and all the congratulations goes to the team that makes me look good every day. But it was a pleasant surprise to be recognized amongst my peers. So thank you so much, and thanks to Selling Power.